So the topic for today is the electricity generation from biomass. The electricity from biomass is the topic of Unit 3, which is coming under the non-conventional energy sources. We'll be discussing the introduction part, its types of biomass plants. We'll be discussing it later. So let's start with what is biomass is. So basically, biomass is the organic material of recently living plants from trees, grasses, and agricultural crops. The biomass feedstocks are very heterogeneous and the chemical composition is highly dependent on plant species. Like if you'll see a banyan tree leaf, that is different. If you see a neem leaf, that is different. Peepal leaf is different, but bamboo leaf is having different characteristics. So that is what heterogeneous means, that plant species also has many varieties. So biomass feedstocks are very heterogeneous and its composition depends upon the plant species, which kind of plant species which we are taking. So the biomass is highly heterogeneous in nature, and it is a problem also because when we are processing the biomass for converting it into the energy, into the manure or खाद जिससे बनाते हैं और we'll convert it into the biogas. So if the variety of plants and variety of biomass is different, then it will take more time to process, right? Or there would be other probabilities like as per their characteristics. So in order to process the biomass feedstock, we require more and more homogeneous feedstock in order to operate with the same kind of thing. So that is why we categorize the biomass in different things. So biomass is already a cost-effective thing in terms of the energy conversion. Why so? Because it doesn't need any fuel. We don't need to buy fuel. We don't need to buy feedstock. We don't need to buy the plant waste. And most importantly, these are the resources are waste mostly. So we are using biomass for energy conversion. Doesn't need extra attention for resources, as I have already said. And these resources are also the sources which emits less carbon and sulfates in comparison to fossil fuel. Like if we are going to burn a wooden log and produce electricity through it by the same procedure which we adopt in steam power station for like burning the wooden log and produce the heat, and then that heat is used to convert the water inside the boiler to convert it to the steam, and that steam runs the turbine, and the turbine is associated with alternator, so that would be generating electricity. So basically more or less things are same, but for steam power plant we need coal, which is costly, and it needs a lots of storage space, transportation problems are there, so it is costly. But as we are talking about biomass, there is no cost as such, and these are environmental friendly, sustainable sources of energy. That is why it is kept under the non-conventional sources of energy. It is offering less pollution because if you burn wood, that would not produce much carbon dioxide. But if you burn the coal, then lots of flue gases are there along with the carbon precipitation, carbon content in the atmosphere would be there, and lots of ashes would be there. Ash would be there in wooden stock also, but as compared to coal, the wooden are preferably good options as far as biomass options are concerned. So this is the thing, and these are the biomass sources, various biomass sources which we use to produce electricity, or you can produce biogas out of it. So animal residues is the main thing. Animal residues like cow dung, buffalo dung you can use. Industrial residues you can use like in sugar mills. We used to prepare sugar by the help of sugar canes, and the sugar cane paddy waste are considered under industrial waste, which are recyclable, or which is directly related to the plant extractions. So forestry, crops and residues are the other thing, and along with that, agriculture crops and residues, like we know that when खेतों में जब फसल लगती है, गेहूं की लगती है या धान की लगती है, तो धान आप एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लेते हो, ठीक है, उसको कूट करके, है ना, फल हम ले लेते हैं उससे। तो बाकी का जो पार्ट रहता है, दैट पार्ट अगेन गोज टू दी वेस्ट पार्ट। तो लाइक अगर हम, आपने देखा होगा कि अगर खेत है और खेत में वो जो नीचे वाला पार्ट, पाइपिंग पार्ट रहता है, कि गेहूं का अगर अगर पेड़ की लेंथ इतनी है, 1 फीट है, 2 फीट है, 3 फीट है, तो उसमें जो उसकी बालियां रहती हैं वो 1 फीट रहती है हार्डली, और भी उससे भी कम। तो ये जो बाकी का पार्ट है, उसका स्टेम वाला जो पार्ट है, वो बेसिकली रेसिड्यू में चला जाता है, या कई बार वो सूख जाता है तो उसमें आग लगा देते हैं, बट दैट इज नॉट अ गुड ऑप्शन टू get rid of it, because we can extract that too and we can use that in biomass. Because as you have seen that in Delhi last year, the air pollution problem was there. Why? Because in the people near Punjab and Haryana, what they do, the residue paddy fields, they used to burn that waste part of wheat and the other crops also. So that in turn again produced the uh, burning content of that again returned into the flue gases, the fume, the smoke, and so it was very hazardous. So it pollutes the air of the nearby area also. So the best option is that we can uproot that plant, and we can cut that plant. So many techniques are there in agriculture. Threshers are there to extract that wheat from that bar, from that whole plant, and then extract it. So the rest of the part can be used as the agricultural residues, and which in turn produce the biomass. So which is a very good option to convert that into the electricity again, rather than polluting the atmosphere. And then the sewage part is there also. It comes under the biomass, and the municipal solid waste, like in our house, as you can have that घर में हमारे जो आजकल भोपाल म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में क्या होता है, यूजुअली ऑल ओवर द कंट्री वाइड एक पैटर्न है, वो कहते हैं आपको कि गीला कचरा अलग रखिए, सूखा कचरा अलग रखिए, व्हेन दे आर कलेक्टिंग डेब्रिस फ्रॉम योर होम। तो वो जो कचरा है, गीला कचरा, सूखा कचरा, उसका कैटेगराइजेशन ही ये है कि जो गीला वाला कचरा है उसमें आप अपने फूड का छिलका है, वेस्ट है, आपका जो भी बचा हुआ खाना है या जो खराब हो चुका है, या आपके वेजिटेबल के छिलके हैं, है ना, या उसका जो खराब वाला वेस्ट पार्ट है, वो दैट पार्ट कम्स इनटू द गीला कचरा, है ना। वो दैट कुड बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू द मैन्योर, दैट कुड बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू द बायोमास इन टर्न, व्हिच कैन प्रोड्यूस द बायोगैस, और व्हिच कैन बी हेल्प टू प्रोड्यूस द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आल्सो. So that is why they told us. So it is our moral responsibility to keep that garbage separated, so that it could be processed easily. So while if you can just a minute, yes, if you can separate it, so that they can be processed. Like if सूखा कचरा, in सूखा कचरा what you do, plastic waste या कागज या वुडन लॉग्स या जो भी चीजें आपकी ऐसी हैं जो नॉट वुडन लॉग्स, आपका जो भी प्लास्टिक वाला या पेपर वाला या पॉलीथीन्स हैं या इस टाइप की जो चीजें हैं, या कागज है या रफ वेस्ट है, इस टाइप की जो भी चीजें हैं जो रिसाइकलेबल नहीं है या रिसाइकलेबल है पर वो बायोमास की कैटेगरी में नहीं आती है, उसको अलग से प्रोसेस करना पड़ेगा. इफ यू take the separation of these two, the processing will be easy, the recycling will be easy. So it is our moral responsibility in order to prevent these environment, to save the environment, that we need to categorize these two debris separately, because the lots of human resources are involved while collecting these two differently, right? तो और उसमें एक नया एडिशनल भी रहता है कि हैजार्डस डिस्पोजल्स, ये आप उसमें रहता है खतरनाक केमिकल. तो आप जितने भी आपके डिओड्रेंट्स के बॉक्सेस हैं या वो हैं, या कीटनाशक टाइप के अपने हिट विट के जो मॉस्किटो रेपेलेंट के जो रेमिनिसेंस रहते हैं, वो आप उसमें डालते हैं, है ना, जो कि बाकी सब चीज़ों से मिक्स हो करके उसको नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाए एनवायरनमेंट को. तो उसकी प्रोसेसिंग डिफरेंट होती है. सो दैट इज वाई municipal corporation ask you to do so. So, but the municipal solid waste, which we have talked about, is again comes under the biomass resources. Then comes next is the heat content of various biomass fuels, and it is on dry basis. When the biomass fuels are dry, what is the calorific value? Highest and lowest calorific value, because there is a range. So corn. कॉर्न मक्का जो है उसका जो पौधा है, अगर हम उसको उसका जो स्टॉक्स है उसको अगर हम हाई हीटिंग वैल्यू अगर दें कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू के हिसाब से मेगाजूल पर केजी के हिसाब से, तो 17.6 to 20.5 is the highest rating value and lowest rating value is 16.8 to 18.1, depends upon the condition of that particular corn or characteristic. And then the sugarcane megasis, same, wheat straw is there, shells prunings are there, fruit pits are there, and herbaceous crops like Acanthus, peat grass, other grasses like lemon grasses, bamboo are there. There have been mentioned here. Woody crops like black locust, eucalyptus, hybrid, Douglas, poplar, maple wood, pine, willow. Why these pine, maple, these are found in hilly areas, and the table which the source from which I have taken this is of foreign land, so that they included their like hardwood, softwood. We have studied well in our school times. We categorize that what kind of hardwood trees are there, softwood trees are there, and the urban residues like newspaper, corrugated paper, wax cartons, etc., etc. So many things are there. So this is the categorization just for the general information. These are the heating content of the various biomass fuels. And this is the share of global installed biomass capacity, and it was in 2010 by the Feedstock and Country Vision. So this is the categorization of biomass according to the global install mass capacity. This is the thing, and wood takes majority stack 44%, then biomass 20%, bagases 20%. Then landfill gas 8%, sewage gas 1%, liquid fuel 3%, and biogas takes 3% of the whole content. And as far as the capacity, biogas capacity or biomass capacity installed by the country, North America, Europe takes the lead in as 34%, then North American continent 30%. Then comes rest of the Asia or Oceania 10%, then India 5%, China 3%, Africa 3%, Brazil takes 9% after the rest of the Asia, and rest South America 2%, and rest of the world is 2%. This is the worldwide approximate stake of biomass electricity generation, or you can say the biomass capacity by which countries are producing it for making their electricity and other energy usages. So this is very important. The graph shows the biomass capacity as well as the biomass electrification or biomass energy generation as per the country, or you can say continent wise. So next is the biomass introduction. Basically, biomass is the utilization of organic material as the sources of energy by which anaerobic combustion, digestion, gasification, pyrolysis. These are the processes by which biomass can be treated for producing the different things. We have seen the biomass, what comes under the biomass, and how we can process that by making it in usable form is the processes like combustion, anaerobic digestion, gasification, and pyrolysis. These are few advantages and disadvantages of biomass plant or biomass that it is a 100% renewable sources of energy. And second is it is not responsible for global warming, because CO2 which is produced by burning the by processing the biomass is in turn be utilized by the trees for making their food in photosynthesis. So this is almost, you can say, the biomass energy generation is almost a carbon neutral process, we can say, because because the CO2 absorbed with the plants uses in biomass power stations already. So it is cheaper than oil, coal, or other fossil fuels. It is available in big quantities all over the world, as we know that lots of forests are there, although they are depleting day by day, but still they are in huge numbers. Lots of leaf stocks are there, lots of plant stocks are there, so we can use it. Is in abundance. It is a clean energy, once again. No pollution, just a minute, no pollution occurs, and there are great reserves of biomass in nature, and it helps to generate the local employment also. That as you can see, I was giving the example for biomass production from the from the animals residues, like animal waste जो भी है, गोबर जो usually in villages we found lots of animals, और अभी तो थोड़े से कम हो गया है पशुधन जिसको कहते हैं। गांव में पहले गाय, भैंस, बैल, घोड़ा ये सब बहुत हुआ करते थे, वहाँ बैलगाड़ियाँ चला करती थी, है ना। खेती में भी ट्रैक्टर ने रिप्लेस कर दिया बैलगाड़ी, तो पहले बैल जो रहते थे वो हल चलाते थे, है ना। घोड़ा या फिर जो आपके बैलों से बैलगाड़ी वगैरह, घोड़ा गाड़ी वगैरह चलती थी, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए भी उन्हीं को यूज करते थे। और गाय भैंस जो है वो डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स वगैरह देते थे, और उनका जो गोबर रहता था बेसिकली, ये जितने भी एनिमल्स हैं उनके जो काऊ डंग है या फैलो डंग है या जो इनका जो वेस्ट है, उसको हम बायोगैस, आपने सुना होगा गांव में बायोगैस पावर प्लांट्स भी रहते थे, बायोगैस प्लांट्स भी रहते थे। तो बायोगैस प्लांट्स में बेसिकली हम ये एनिमल रेसिड्यूज को, गोबर जो रहता है गाय का, उसको एक फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट मैकेनिज्म कहते हैं। फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट अभी हम उसको अगर फ्यूचर में डिस्कस करेंगे तो वो फ्लोटिंग ड्रम एक बायोगैस पावर प्लांट का एक अरेंजमेंट रहता था। उसमें क्या किया जाता था, जो गोबर है वो गोबर को घोल करके वो बड़े से टैंक में डाल दिया जाता था, और वो गोबर वहां पे प्रोसेस होता था। वो इन एनारोबिक डाइजेशन की प्रोसेस जो हम डिस्कस करें, 3-4 प्रोसेस, तो एनारोबिक डाइजेशन की प्रोसेस से वो जो आपका जो गोबर है वो प्रोसेस होकर के बायोगैस बनाता था। वो जो बायोगैस है वो उससे घरों में गैस, एलपीजी गैस का रिप्लेसमेंट होता था, खाना वगैरह बनाने के लिए यूज होता था। और एनारोबिक डाइजेशन के बाद, प्रोसेस होने के बाद, वो जो स्टेक गोबर का जो पड़ा रहता था वो प्रोसेस होके वो खाद में कन्वर्ट हो जाता था, राइट। तो वो डबल आम के आम गुठलियों के दाम वाली बात हो जाती थी कि यहाँ से वो जो गोबर है वो भी एक वेस्ट है बेसिकली, उसको हमने, मतलब उसके बहुत सारे बाय प्रोडक्ट्स बनते हैं काऊ डंग से। तो उसको आजकल तो बहुत ज्यादा लोग वुड भी बनाने लगे हैं, उससे कॉपीज बनती हैं, डायरीज बनती हैं, और हवन करने के लिए स्टैंड बनते हैं। और काऊ डंग जो है उसको प्रोसेस करके बहुत सारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में, कहीं कहीं फैब्रिक बनाने की भी बात चल रही है, तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं उसकी। तो एक उसका जो बेनिफिट है वो ये भी है कि आप उससे बायोगैस बना सकते हैं। तो ये जो था ये लोकल एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोवाइड करने वाला काम था, क्योंकि जो लोग उसमें एक्सपर्ट थे, ये कुछ 2 डिकेट्स पहले की बात है, 2-2.5 डिकेट्स पहले की बात, 20-25 साल पहले बहुत गांव में फेमस हुआ था। एलपीजी तो था नहीं वहां, तो बायोगैस पावर प्लांट के थ्रू इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, सॉरी, बायोगैस प्रोड्यूस करते थे। वो बायोगैस जो है वो घरों में, किचन में खाना बनाने में, पानी गर्म करने में, वो सब के लिए यूज होती थी, जैसे आपके एलपीजी थी। क्योंकि पहले गांव गांव में कनेक्शन नहीं थे, तो जिन लोगों को इनके बारे में आइडिया था वो उन्होंने वहां पे, उनको लोकल एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिला, वो प्लांट स्टैब्लिश करने में हेल्प करते थे। बाकी जो लोग थे वो अपने ही घर के वेस्ट से और अपने घर के चूल्हे को रिप्लेस करके गैस ले आए, तो एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट हुआ, है ना। और इस तरीके की चीजें जो थी वो थोड़ी सी एडवांस फॉर्म में आई, तो कहीं ना कहीं उनको उसका टेक्निकल बेनिफिट भी हुआ, तो ये लोकल एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी मिला उससे। बट अब तो क्योंकि गांव गांव में पहुंच हो गई, अब लोगों के घरों में ट्रैक्टर्स आ गए हैं, बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट्स ऐसे आ गए हैं जो खेती किसानी वाले, बहुत मॉडर्न इक्विपमेंट्स है, तो दे आर नॉट यूजिंग इट। सो दी एनिमल्स रिप्लेस्ड बाय दी मशीनरीज, and now as you have the less animals, so less dung is there, so you cannot use that to produce that much amount of biogas. So LPG already has been reached. So this biogas plant is being obsoleted day by day, but yes, it was still there. But there are few disadvantages also which I want to discuss. A great amount of biomass is needed to obtain the same amount of energy provided by the fossil fuel. If we are talking about the coal, and if we compare coal and wood, then coal's energy density is much as compared to the wood. So the large amount of biomass is required for producing that much electricity as compared to the fossil fuel amount would be less. So the biomass requires a bigger volume of matter than fossil fuel, which also means a bigger storage area, also bigger amount, bigger volume of that, along with the bigger storage area. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of biomass gas, or electricity generation from biomass. This is the biomass energy conversion process, in which the various process by which the conversion of biomass into energy takes place, or energy or biofuels can be classified according to the various processes. Number one is direct combustion, like heating up the logs as it is. Number two is the thermochemical conversion, and number three is the biochemical conversion. And these wastes are again categorized as follows. Like in thermochemical processes, we have incineration, gasification, pyrolysis. And in biochemical processes, we have fermentation and anaerobic digestion. And by the help of anaerobic digestion, biogas was produced. And as I have already told you in the a recent example, fermentation, that for example, sugar cane is there. And when you are processing the sugar cane, or ethanol can be produced by that. So these are the few things, and the processes by which we can by incineration we can produce electricity, by gasification we can produce the gas for fuel, or gas which can used as a fuel, and then pyrolysis, by the help of biomass or pyrolysis we can have we can extract the heavy oils from the biomass, and by fermentation we can have ethanol, and by anaerobic digestion we can have the biogas. These are the processes, these are the conversions by which we can obtain the fruitful, or we can say the biomass can be converted into the energy formation, which can be used directly or indirectly. So these are the basic processes. Major technologies which are involved in conversion of biomass into energy are specified as gasification, combustion, and pyrolysis. So while utilizing biomass, we have three major technologies which are involved in the conversion of biomass into energy. Number one, gasification. Number two, combustion. And number three is the pyrolysis. And the major technologies we are talking about is number one, let's start with the gasification. Gasification can be defined as a process of converting carbonaceous materials into carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. And secondly, it is done by reacting biomass of fossil fuel at a higher temperature greater than 700 degrees centigrade. And combustion is not occur here. And a controlled amount of oxygen, sometime with steam, produces syngas or producer gas is produced, which is used as a fuel. So this is the block diagram of a gasification procedure. Here in turn we have 5 steps. In step number 1 we will be harvesting the biomass, we will be collecting it, and at stage 2 we will be processing, chopping, briquetting, dehydration, drying as compared to the various characteristics of biomass. Then the stage 3 gasification process, that means converting the biomass into gaseous form is there. And then at stage 4 the gas cleaning procedure takes place, and then at stage 5 we are using it either through boiler or turbine or running the motor, etc., etc. So this is the gasification process. Number 2 is the combustion. Combustion means the burning of fuel, which is a chain of exothermic chemical reaction involving a fuel and an oxidant producing heat and glowing flame. So by the help of combustion, in combustion we usually heat up, or we can burn the biomass, dried biomass, which is burning is a exothermical chemical reaction which needs the fuel as well as the oxidant. So fuel plus oxidizer, basically for combustion oxygen is needed, so oxidizer is there. So fuel plus oxidizer will give you the combustion product plus lots of amount of heat energy, which we can use to heat up the boiler and produce the steam, and then steam will learn turbine, and the alternator, as we can know that then oxygen must be present in case of combustion. So next is the direct combustion or steam turbine system, as you have already seen. So this process, right from this we have already studied in steam power station. Only the initial part has been changed. Like in steam power plant, it was coal storage and coal handling and processing plant was there. Here we have biomass storage and preparation and processing part is being done here in the as the green blocks are showing, and the rest of the process is same. After processing or burning, the furnace or boiler heats up the heats up the water and convert it into the steam. This steam again goes to the turbine, and turbine will be connected to the generator. When turbine moves, the generator moves, and the mechanical energy converted into the electricity. And after that steam is being utilized, it goes to the condensation part, and the condenser helps to with the help of cooling towers helps to condensate this steam into the water again, and this water is again fed to the boiler for this the further process, and this takes place, and the exhaust gases are there. Obviously we are burning the biomass, so exhaust gases will be there, ash part would be there as well as a byproduct. So this is the same, this is the same as that of steam power station, and this part only is different. So this is direct combustion procedure. And the third is the pyrolysis process. The pyrolysis involves the chemical decomposition and physical change of state at an elevated temperature in the absence of oxygen or halogen. And this process is endothermic. The combustion was exothermic, and the pyrolysis is endothermic, irreversible, and it is a type of thermolysis process. This helps to turn the biomass into syngas or biochar. It also decomposes the complex oils into the lighter composition. The process can be operated as per the following diagram. So it decomposes complex oil into lighter compositions also in order to produce the biochar or syngas or the bio oil. So this is the process of pyrolysis. So here biomass fast pyrolysis takes place by heating it up by the help of gas burning, and non-condensable gas could be produced, pyrolysis oil could be produced, and biochar could be produced by doing that. Pyrolysis oil then further can be processed by using synthesis, extraction, upgrading. It can be connected to the turbine and engine and boiler also, so that the procedures which are end products which can be received by us as bio-based chemicals, advanced biofuels, clean power we can get, heat we can get, and soil amendment we can get. Soil amendment, by what do you mean by soil amendment? Soil amendment, anybody? To retain, soil amendment means changing the property of soil by involving the or by enriching it with the quality of good manure. Manure मतलब अच्छी खाद डालना, बायोमास का जो खाद है बायोमास के एक्सट्रैक्शन से बचा हुआ, प्रोसेस से बचा हुआ, वो उसमें डालेंगे तो वो सॉइल अमेंडमेंट के काम आएगा. लाइक यू यूज टू फर्टिलाइज इट अगेन, you used to fertilize the your soil by using that. Abhi, when we are talking about the organic material, organic vegetable, organic foods, it will take the current soil is agriculture farmers. Most of you might be from the agricultural background. As you already know, we use lots of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, and we use lots of pesticides by saving the crop. So the crops which are being produced, the vegetables, the fruits which are being produced through the agriculture, mostly they are having chemical composition inside it, and they are harmful for us also. So when people talking about the organic food, the soil takes at least 3 to 4 years to produce the actual organic food. Why? Because the soil retains its soil retains that chemical fertilizers, the pesticides, the soil retains it, and after the next crop occurs, whatever the soil extracts the energy from the agriculture, or the crop extracts the energy from the soil only. So the harmful chemicals which are residing inside the soil can directly be a part of that food. So this is the thing. So soil amendment is needed, and quality organic food is needed to be consumed by all, as far as a health perspective are concerned. So soil amendment is again very important, and this is the beauty of biomass, that it produces the energy, and its byproduct helps to grow the environment, helps to save the environment, right? So this is a very good thing. So this is the pyrolysis process, and this is the simplest simplified biomass power plant diagram, block diagram, in which by this part from left side, the trees enters and it goes to the wood chippers, where the wood solid log of waste is chipped into the smallest wooden particles, so that it could be burned in this furnace and produce the heat in the boiler, produce the steam by heating up the water inside the boiler, and the steam produced, and the flue gases are getting exhaust from here also, and the steam which is produced here, this is the turbine. This is turbine, and the steam which is produced is moving this turbine, and this turbine is connected to the alternator, and alternator will help to generate the electricity, which is again fed it to the transmission station or fed it to the grid. So this is the basic diagram showing the electricity production from the biomass, and it is just like a steam power station which we have studied, but the fuel which we have used there is coal, and here we are using the wood, that is biomass. But before processing, we cannot, burn a simple log of wood inside the furnace, because it would be having less calorific value. Like we don't process the coal inside it for heating. Before that, we crush it. We do pulverization. We convert it into the powdered form so that its calorific value will have the more calorific value. So this is also wood crushers are there, wood chippers are already there, which can chip the wooden into the smallest particles so that its calorific value can be increased. So this is all about the classification of various technical aspects, various processes by which we can convert the biomass into the usable energy products, right? And next time we'll be taking the detailed view of it.